Let's talk about the 3 levels of confidence in dating. Confidence is a very, very common topic in dating where people will tell you, be confident, just be confident. And they're going to come up with a lot of theories to feed you to somehow magically implant this confidence into your heart and into your mind. Or they will advise outward things like get in shape, get some success, find your mission, get on your purpose, get on your grind. And while these all are effective to a lesser or greater extent, they still don't get at the heart of what's going to create confidence in the specific setting of dating, right? So you can have confidence in a lot of different things. So instead of thinking of confidence as confidence, like it's just an attribute, I want you to think of it, use grammar here. What do you have confidence in? Within what do you have confidence? Rather than this thing that resides in your heart, it's something that you have regarding an object of practice or an object of expression. So if you're someone who's been playing soccer for 10 years, you're confident in your soccer abilities. You know what your limitations are and you know what you can pull off. You know you're not a pro player, but you know that you could probably beat most random people who are in mid-tier leagues, let's say, for instance. Or let's say, you're really, really good at this one particular video game. You're confident in your ability to beat a certain population of people within that community and also without that community. However, where it gets interesting is, okay, if you're good at this one particular video game, are you good at this other video game? Now, that depends on if that video game is of a similar nature, right? Or like if you're good at dance. So if I'm good at crumping or hip hop or light feet, all right, these are types of dancing. Am I going to be good at ballet? Well, I'm probably going to pick up ballet quicker than a person who has no dancing experience. And there is a similarity of the fact that we're using our body. So having body control is something really, really important in all forms of dancing, but some forms of dancing specifically like thrive on body control, whereas others thrive more on fluidity and rhythm. And so if this other style of dancing relies heavily on what you're already good at, your skill is going to translate. But if it's something completely different, like say contemporary dance, you might struggle to like cross over those skills. But the fact that you know how to dance is probably going to help in the first place. So your skills cross over and your confidence therefore crosses over, right? So the same applies to when you are having confidence with regards to dating. There are very specific aspects of dating, right? And a lot of them are personality based, but a lot of them are specifically like, this is just a dating art, right? So what are some things, some skills that you can have confidence in that go into dating that aren't necessarily dating centric, right? A sense of humor, charisma, right? You can be charismatic with people you're not trying to sleep with. You can be funny with people you're not trying to sleep with. But these skills can help you in attracting and building bonds with women. But then there are specific dating skills like knowing when a girl is turned on, or when a girl is interested, or when a girl is not interested, or when a girl is on the fence. She's kind of interested, she's kind of not. You learn how to read body language specifically about their romantic and sexual interest, right? So when I speak about confidence in dating, what I want you to be thinking about with all of those examples is, I have confidence in my ability to do this one particular thing within the realm of dating, right? I know that I am a very funny guy, or I know that I'm a great conversationalist, right? So I'm confident that once I get her on a date, I can talk for hours. That's not a weakness of mine. But where I might have weakness is, I always get friend zoned. Let's say you're really good at conversation, but you get friend zoned a lot. Okay, so where you're struggling is on the level of lust. So you struggling with lust means you're not confident in your ability to make a girl see you in a sexual manner, right? So how do you develop confidence on a level that you're weak in, right? And maybe you're just weak at everything. Maybe you're just a terrible socializer, which is totally okay, but you got to start somewhere. So again, a lot of people will start to give you advice that is specific, or it's more, not necessarily has to do with creating lust, but it is a thing you can do to create lust. So I'll give you an example, like dressing better, getting a nice haircut, working out, taking care of your skin, things to make you more attractive, right? Just prima facie, outward, superficial, however you want to think about it. So you'll start to get more attractive, and this will help a lot. It's one of the first things I'll tell guys. Like if I'm, coaching a guy and he's just struggling to even get the most basic levels of attraction from a girl, I'll be like, all right, dude, go get a fucking haircut, fix your clothes, this, just basic appearance-based improvements. And the level of attraction, if it was like 0.05, jumps to like a 6, right? So it's a orders of magnitude improvement in his attractiveness to women. And it's a very simple fix, right? But what happens is that men hone in on this improvement, and then that becomes their entire shtick. If you've seen dating advice channels who you're watching them, and at first there's some truth to what they're saying, but then you start to see patterns where it's just a repeat of, they're just trying to like squeeze out all the juice from this one little method, right? And so that's what a lot of guys in like the red pill and manosphere are getting wrong, is they're teaching guys things that are true, so it's not false. Do girls like guys with money? Yes. Do girls like guys with status and who take care of themselves and who are on their mission? Yes, that's all true. But then they make that the entire foundation of attraction, which is not how it works. It has a diminishing returns, especially once you do get to that level where you're successful. Oh, well, girls like a guy in their grind. Okay, yeah, but every other guy she's talking to is just as rich, just as popular, probably even more so. So you're going to lose to him just because he has one more, like, +1. He has a big dick, or, he has a net worth of 5 million and you only have a net worth of 3 million. It's like, all right, we're not playing mathematics here. You don't need to be that rich to get girls. It's just going to be, it's a scaling that gets, it's called diminishing returns. So you need to find a place within which to place confidence to create real confidence that doesn't have diminishing returns. It is set in stone and is iterative, meaning you can iterate it. You can do it more and again and again. It's repeatable, right? Whereas things like your status and your money are just, it's going to get your foot in the door, but then it pretty much loses all its effectiveness for the reasons I've explained, right? So where can you find places to put your confidence in that are specifically about dating? Okay, so there's 3 levels of confidence, and then you can apply all these levels of confidence to every step that there is in the dating process. So the 3 levels of confidence are a willingness to try it, right? Let's call that faith, the leap of faith confidence, right? You have a lack of shame with regards to trying it, right? So the confidence is first a willingness to try. Then once you've tried it enough, usually you gain another level of confidence where you don't feel that like scaredness, that fear to even just attempt it. You know it works and you're going to do it, but you don't yet have the 3rd level of confidence, which is You understand why it works and in what conditions it works. And that's true confidence, right? And then you have to understand that all of these confidences, think of them as plural confidences. Confidences. It's not confidence, it's confidences. So you have level 1 or level 2 or level 3 confidence in your conversational ability. But maybe you only have a level 1 confidence in your sexual ability, like your actual performance in bed, because you know you're not that good in bed. Okay, so I know I'm good at this, but I'm not good at this. So I need to figure out how to level up my confidence in that regard, right? So like, let's say with sex. Well, if you want to level up your sex, then you need to be having enough sex that first you're willing to just like give it a go, right? And a lot of guys can't even get that first step because they have like erectile dysfunction, which is like 95% of the time, or 98, 99% of the time, it's neurological, like it's in their mind, right? And they'll come up with all these physiological things like, oh, I need to do this. And I'm like, dude, I trust me, it's in your head. You know, unless you literally have blood flow problems. And then picking up girls is probably should not be your first, objective. Like, you need to get your health straight. So they will go down the wrong alleys when really the only answer is you got to have more sex. But this thing that you want to get confidence in is like the last step in the seduction process, right? So if you want to get better at sex, then you either need to get a girlfriend where you can have a lot of sex with her, or you need to be getting good at picking up girls, and so you can have a lot of sex and get better at it, right? Having a girlfriend is probably the easiest way, is just find a girl you really like and you're willing to date, right? And just have a lot of sex. And you get more confidence in that specific thing, confidence in sex, all right? So what are some areas you can have confidence in that are specific to the dating process, right? Not confidence in yourself, not confidence in who you are, right? These are all like nice things, but they're very nuanced and complicated, and people often oversimplify them, and they think it's the magic bullet to having a good dating life. It's not. You need to have the skill of dating, and the skill of dating is an umbrella term that covers, I'm good at texting girls. I'm good at setting up the date, right? Because there's some guys who can spend 10 hours texting girls, but then when it comes to actually setting up the date, for some reason, they just drop the ball. So you know how to have that logistical business conversation of when are we going to meet at this time at this place. You know how to handle the beginning of a date, all right? You're very confident in your ability to start the date out. You know how to handle, I have confidence to handle awkward situations, right? Let's say, I don't know, you're out on a date with a girl and, her ex-boyfriend is at the restaurant. Like, if you've never been in a weird situation like that, you're probably not going to handle it that well. And so it might lose you, it might break the bridge, and it messes up the connection because your confusion or insecurities, your lack of confidence to handle yourself failed you, right? And confidence even in itself is not a magic bullet. You can do this right and this right and this right and this right, and you still lose the girl because you can't perfectly engineer and control life, right? But we're doing our absolute best to put all of the advantages in our favor. So having confidence in dating is having a lot of little confidences, a 1%, a 2%. Like think of it as an RPG, right? Like you level up your attributes to a certain extent where this is your strength, this is your stamina, this is your vitality, your life, this is your your skill within this particular type of weapon, this is your jumping ability, whatever, right? All of these things, but you're still going to go and fight that monster and you might still die because you didn't dodge that attack. It's going to happen, right? But all of these little points in your strength and your stamina, these are all going to help you to survive when you do get hit, right? But if you go in purely on skill, it's kind of like a guy who, I've seen guys like this, who are actually pretty good with girls, right? But they haven't covered a lot of basic fundamentals. So they go in and they look strange and they kind of act strange, but they'll still pull girls, right? Because they know the art of understand. They have confidence in their ability to understand signals from women, right? Or they have an insane confidence in their ability to withstand rejection. So they've become a master at just like these handful of skills, and they'll just like pound away and just fearlessly go forward and approach 100 girls, and they're going to pull, right? But could they become 10 times more effective if they just like started dressing better and started acting a little bit less freaking weird and eccentric and strange, and, you know, learned some, you know, started being a little bit more polite, or a little bit, you know, having some class rather than purely relying on sexual bad boy, fuck boy behaviors? Yeah, they would probably improve their results by a lot, right? But sometimes when you're playing a game, you know, you can just max out strength. And if you know how to dodge every attack, because one attack is going to kill you, right? But if you just know that if you land just a few hits, you're going to destroy this monster, right? It's a funny little metaphor for, you know, if you're going on dates and you're just good at one thing, right? I just know I'm funny and I know how to fuck. That's it, right? So I'm just going to go on this date. I'm going to crack jokes and I'm going to be super sexual. It can work. I have pool girls just based on my ability to be funny and the fact that I'm very sexual. So laugh, 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 laugh. Hey, I want to put my dick in your mouth. I'm not fucking shitting you. Like, sometimes the stupidest shit will get girls because the things were just in place, right? But if you want to take a more, you know, if you want to engineer it a little bit better, which will save you a lot of time. If dating is not something, you know, some guys, I feel like a lot of times in the past when I would teach guys, I would be catering to this very specific audience of like guys who want to dedicate their time to picking up girls, right? And even watching this video might be like, oh my God, this is so technical and philosophical and da-da-da. Well, you know, not every guy wants to sleep with 150 girls and blah, blah, blah. I get it. So what you should do is, what you should take away from this video is that I need you to just get good at the basics, right? And you need to develop the 3 levels of confidence with regards to these basic skills of dating, right? So what would be basic skills? In our day and age, texting. It's a huge weakness of a lot of guys right now. So if you want to get my texting book, I'm setting up my website still. So message me on Instagram. I'll put it in the description, and I can send you the book, and, you know, you can buy it. And it teaches you everything about texting girls, right? So that would be one way for you to study that book and practice texting and nail down texting, because it's a very necessary skill now. Knowing how to approach women, right? If you want to learn how to approach women like during the day and not rely on clubs and bars or online dating, right? I have a course for that. It's called Meet Girls Everywhere. Teach you how to actually go out and meet girls. Message me on Instagram and we can figure out how to get that, you know, until I get my website set up where you can buy it. So get your skill level to like 2 and ideally 3 with regards to texting, approaching, basic conversation, and then your texting skill will help with actually setting up the date, right? And then actually on the date, how to have good conversation and how to recognize when she's ready for the next step, which is either like end the date and wait for another date, or pull her and actually, like, you know, take it further and take her back to your place or go to her place or whatever. And if you just iterate those skills over and over again, you're going to get success, and you don't need to sleep with 100 girls. You can just sleep with a couple or one ideally, and you just find the girl that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because most guys, you know, I think a lot of guys think they want to be players, but they really don't want to put in that work, and it's not necessary. You don't need to be this crazy player who sleeps with a bunch of women. You can just be happy with, you know, a few hookups just to get your rocks off and get some experience and have a nice time with a couple girls, and then find your wife and then have a nice family. Totally okay. So if you just focus on these skills and you get them to like level 2 or level 3, then that's sufficient for you to have a good dating life. So how do you level up those specific skills, right? So texting, let's say for instance. All right, so level 1 is a willingness to try. It's a leap of faith. So I'm just going to start texting girls. I'm going to try, like, a good place to start is you have some sort of blueprint, right? Like super level 1 is like you just start trying anything. And that's where I was for a long time. And that's how I learned a lot of interest. That's how I learned how to teach. I know how to teach you because I've tried so many things. So then I can look back and see what worked and what didn't. I wasn't given a straight path to success. But if you want to try it on your own, then of course that works too. You don't have to buy my book. Fuck me. You could go off and just try it on your own. And so you just try, just text and try everything, like I'm just going to send emojis. You are just willing to give it a try and you're experimenting. Then the second level is why I focus on you don't feel shame for certain things is because you've tried enough things or you trust in someone like me or some other coach that you trust to enough that you're not ashamed to try this thing that he has told you to try, right? So I have confidence that this works. I haven't yet seen it work enough with my own eyes to guarantee that it's going to work in this situation or in that situation. But I know it does work, either through trial and error or I trust this person. And then the third level of confidence is I've specifically tried this thing and I have a general idea of when it works and when it doesn't. That requires your own personal understanding. Like it's not just something that you do. And a lot of guys get stuck on level 2 confidence and they never gain level 3 confidence, where they just try this level 2 thing and it works. And that's fine. If it gets you what you want, then like I said, you don't have to become a master of seduction. But level 3 is really good because then, what if you break up? So you have to understand that relationships can end. You get a girlfriend and you think, okay, I'm done. I don't have to worry about, and then like, who knows? You get tired of her or she gets tired of you, someone cheats, someone dies. Like, life is very uncertain. And I know that's scary, but it's something that you do need to be prepared for on some level. So, having this skill of dating, once you nail it down, even if in the future you'll be rusty, it's good that you fix that skill and you can bring it up again whenever it's necessary. And the skill of dating helps with relationships too. It helps keep things hot, and you always should be dating your wife or your long-term girlfriend. You should always be romancing her and seducing her. Things should never get too boring. So I got sidetracked. You want to develop level 3 confidence, which is like, I know that this works in these. Oh, my camera went off for a second because my battery's dying. I know that this works in this scenario because of this. Like, I know that sending this text works here and not here, right? Or let's say with, taking a girl home, right? So you'll have a lot of guys try to pull off, hey, you want to go watch a movie, right? You know why that works in what situation. Level 1 confidence is at some point you're just like sitting there and you're like, okay, I don't know when to try this. I don't know how to do this. Hey, you want to go watch a movie? She's like, yeah, sure. And you're like, oh my God, it works, right? But you weren't paying enough attention to understand why it worked, right? That's where level 2 starts to give this understanding where you're just like, yeah, okay, like I'm not afraid to ask her to come home, right? And you're just talking to her, you're all confident, she's smiling, you're smiling. Hey, you want to go watch a movie? She's like, no, I think I'm good. And you're like, huh. You know why? Oh, my cat decided to come say hello. Hi, Nana. And he's just like, oh, it didn't work, right? And it worked a different time, but then he's like, why didn't it work? That's because he doesn't understand level 3. He hasn't understood that the reason it worked that first time when he just randomly tried it was because she was giving signs that she was interested to take things further. But he just happened to have, hit a bullseye by giving it a try, which is always better than nothing, right? You're not going to hit a bullseye if you don't throw a dart. And you might throw a dart the first few times and you get a bullseye and you think, oh my God, this works. And then you throw it again and it doesn't work. And you're like, oh, why isn't this working? Well, it's because you're still stuck in level 2 confidence. Where now you believe it works, but you don't yet understand why it works, right? So level 3 confidence when taking a girl home would be understanding that, she's interested in me and she's smiling and laughing, but I don't think she's actually ready because, I've seen this kind of behavior before or this kind of behavior or, from what I've gathered from what she's telling me, she's not looking for a hookup right now or she's, not at that level of attraction yet to go home with me. It doesn't mean she's not that kind of girl, right? It just means that, maybe she needs a little bit more connection before she's willing to go home with me. So, level 3 confidence is when you understand that this is not the right time to do it, or you understand that there's a different, this might even be like level 4, like let's call it like you're a master of pickup, right? This is when you become done. You understand that, what? She's not going to be down to go for the, hey, you want to go watch a movie? she needs me to be more direct or more indirect. Like, you know what kind of seduction she needs, right? She needs a little bit of more romance. Or this girl just wants you to just be like, all right, let's get out of here, right? This is the kind of girl where if you're like, hey, you want to go watch a movie? She'd be like, nah, I don't know. But she's the kind of girl where if you're like, all right, let me get the bill, let's get out of here. And she's like, okay. And she's down because she wanted that kind of experience. And the reason you know that is because you know when you've acted like that in the past with her, she's receptive to it. And then when you start to act more tentatively and hesitantly, she doesn't react. But then there's other women who don't like that kind of assertiveness. They like assertiveness, but not that flavor of assertiveness. They prefer a guy to be a little bit more, oh, you want to get out of here? Yeah, sure. That'd be nice. They want him to be a bit more like gentlemanly about it. He's still being assertive, but his flavor is gentlemanly, whereas the other guy has a more rough assertiveness. All right. So start to develop the levels of confidence by giving something a try for level 1, right? Level 2, having confidence from experience or trusting in someone who's giving you advice, and just try different things. And then level 3 is when you understand why it works. And understanding why it works, there's this, you just kind of know, you just kind of feel things. It's like intuitive understanding versus conceptual understanding. And if you follow this blueprint for the various ways of, or various aspects of dating, texting, approaching, conversation, humor, sexuality, sex itself, relationship, you're confident in your ability to have a relationship and to communicate openly with a girlfriend in a very like open and honest and vulnerable way. Okay, you have confidence in that thing. So you need to practice specific skills and develop levels of confidence in that skill. And overall, that will create what we call, when we see on the surface, someone is confident in their ability, just like I'm confident in my ability to dance because I know this move and that move and I have good rhythm and I know that I can, get in tune with the music, and I'm also very creative, so I can just go to a club and start dancing rather than only relying on choreography. You gain confidence in skill sets rather than just some illusionary general, oh, he's just confident. That's just what we see and feel, but what really is going on once you start to see things as they really are is you have confidence in skills rather than confidence in general. So, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Hector Castillo. Like I said, if you want to learn how to text girls, follow me on Instagram and message me. Hopefully soon enough, if you're watching this at a later date, I already have a link for you to get my book or for my day game course, Meet Girls Everywhere. Or if you're interested in private coaching, talk to me on Instagram and we can schedule a consultation call and discuss coaching and if it's right for you. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Wish you guys all the best of luck, and I will see you very soon.